Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Jack and Dave here to provide you guys your Twitter reacts after what was a brilliant win yesterday, 4-3. Definitely was a little nervy there, but it was also confusing. Like, it felt like we were about to cruise to a 4-0, 5-0 win, and then we had to make it interesting. We had to give back. We had to show the season of giving, the festive season to Manchester United, give them that sense of hope, that sense of optimism that maybe they still were in it, and then we just crushed them at the end with the sunny Olympico. Smash the like button for us, please. Get into the comments. Let us know what your favorite of these tweets are. And consider becoming a member if you want to support the channel, especially with all this extra content coming out over the festive period. But without further ado, Dave, I'm going to selfishly plug one of my own tweets because this is what I was talking to you about before the game. This was Paramount Plus, by the way, over on CBS. I'm not really sure who they had on the graphics team maybe for this day, but they seem to think that Lenny Euro is Sergio Reguilon.
It's an absolute cock up and a half, isn't it?
It's pretty brilliant, if you ask me, from them to to
I
to
wonder did
make
they
that.
get confused when they seen Regulon walking on the pitch for Tottenham on 89 minutes?
I even said to you, like, the part that didn't make much sense to me was that I'd maybe understand this sort of typo or this graphical error had maybe Sergio Reguilon still been on loan at Manchester United, and maybe they just, got the players mixed up or something. But the fact that Sergio Reguilon actually plays for Spurs and hasn't played for Manchester United in about 6 or maybe almost close to a year now at this point. He was only on loan there for half a season in the beginning of last season. So it is quite interesting that this Man United graphics team seems to have such a, let's say, such a love for Sergio Reguilon. They really wish he were back in the team. Super Spurs, Binder makes errors leading to goals. Commentators, well, that's not very good. He's got to do better there. Forster makes two extremely poor individual errors leading to goals. Commentators saying, I can't believe how bad Spurs' tactics are. Ange will never change his way. Dave, I'll be honest, I've rolled my eyes at a lot of the reactions to last night's game. A lot of times people saying it was Andrew's fault that we found ourselves in that situation, and also plenty of times accusing him of poor game management. I think Ange just needs to learn better next time. He needs to tell his own goalkeeper not to hit it into his own net, I guess. That's what Ange needs to do before the game. He needs to tell Forster, hey buddy, don't hit it into your own net, by the way.
Do you know what? It was even with Carragher and Redknapp on Sky Sports last night. I went back, watched it all, and to be honest with you, it was in our chat as well. I find it quite disgraceful, to be quite frank, Jack. I think, we're developing a culture where we're starting to blame the manager for absolutely everything,
Yeah.
which I don't think is correct. For me, that's an individual mistake by an individual player who deserves the criticism for it. We were absolutely cruising. We were in cruise control. You talk about Ange Postecoglou's tactics, game management. Well, that's what got us into the 3-0 lead in the first place. We're in absolute cruise control. What he cannot legislate is for a veteran of the game to make the two errors that he did. He's not telling Forrester to make them choices. To kick it straight to a Man United player to give them goals. At some point within the tactics that and the parameters that Postecoglou gives them, there also has to be smart decisions made by individuals. For instance, that first one. As soon as it comes back to Fraser, he's just got to put his foot through it. That's just an individual decision. And then the
Mhm.
second one is unforgivable as well. You don't take that touch. You just put your foot through it, given,
Yeah.
the pressure just for 5 or so minutes till you calm yourself down again. Why do people keep going after Postecoglou? And I absolutely loved his interview with Sky after. He basically was just like, are you not entertained? He basically had a jibe at them, saying, I'm sure they're going to be up there discussing my lack of tactics. And quite frankly, I think it's disgusting. People say he's
Yeah.
a lack of tactics that's clueless. The guy navigated a massive injury crisis and a massive overhaul of the squad last season to finish fifth. This season, he's also navigated a massive injury crisis while beating Man United and Man City to get to the semi-finals of Carabao Cup. Still has us alive in terms of chasing Champions League football, and still has us alive in the Europa League, looking to get out of the top eight with 2 games to go. I'm sorry, but that doesn't happen without having tactics. That last night is solely on Fraser and Fraser alone. Anyone going after Postecoglou, it's completely misguided. That is nothing to do. We're absolutely cruising. His tactics got us there. It's up to the individuals within that then in their moments just to carry on executing it correctly
Mm.
and not doing what Fraser done last night.
Even another one too, just quickly, was a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he needs to make substitutions. Why do you make substitutions?" It's like people
Oh,
forgot what was on the bench. We had 5 academy players on the bench, and Johnson and Bergvall were pretty much the only realistic options that we could have brought on. Again, just found it to be maybe everyone's tired, maybe everyone's just like, finding it difficult to process. So I could understand that, but seriously, I was very confused by the just sort of
It's
lack of enthusiasm, the lack of excitement by the fact we did even reach the semifinal, but then also just so quick to throw Ange under the bus afterwards and not Fraser. Nick Dav saying Archie Gray, it was my fault. Need more time. Need more of his mentality from the others. Accountability. Not saying it was, but an 18-year-old. This is big. I said during the watch along that, like, I don't think Archie Gray helped Fraser Forster out very much with that pass. I don't think that was the right pass. I don't know really where Fraser could have gone with it other than just getting it launched. But that's the thing. Fraser still had plenty of time to just boot it away, then probably yell at Archie afterwards for giving him that pass. So it's not really in any ways, I think, Archie's fault. But I would actually agree that if Archie recognizes that, that's fair play to him because it was a bit of a hospital pass, if anything.
Well, I think it shows maturity at his age and understanding of his position and what the manager's asking him to do. To a degree, it's sort of the start of it is his fault. The ball is passed to him, and it's up this the centre back's responsibility to go and play out from the back. They know passing back to Fraser is not his strong suit, so he should have took that responsibility. However, once it goes back to Fraser, he's just got to get it. He's just got to get it gone. He's just got to get that gone. He's absolutely, he's 37, 38 years of age. He's a veteran of the game. He's got to take that responsibility. He's got to realise and just get it gone.
Absolutely. Ayudi, neutrals. What a game. Spurs fans.
So true.
And then someone even quote tweeted saying, I'd like to stop having Spurs be a part of the games that are fun for the neutrals. Yeah, maybe even the neutrals aren't even enjoying it anymore at this point. Kayla, the FU Martinez to yay goes Sonny goes crazy from the fans. Dave, this is actually quite brilliant if you see it. They're immediately clapping Sonny the moment that Lissandro gets away from him. But immediately here, you can see the fans. Look at this. Look at their hands. And then the moment he walks away, they start clapping as well. Crazy.
I absolutely love that mentality, lad. It's brilliant, and to see it in motion like that, it's class. Shows how fickle we are and how much we can change on split seconds of games.
Paddy Power saying less than 2 months of the Man United circus and Amorim is already a broken man. I mean, Dave and I were actually kind of confused by this part in the watch along. We were like, what's happened to Amorim? Is he like praying or something? Like it was just so confusing to see him in that sort of position there. And he really was like fixed in that spot there, just head to the ground for like a good few minutes. It was strange. Matt Hayes,
I think that was the realization when he doesn't have a Jokeres anymore.
No, definitely. Or even maybe he wanted Pedro Porro back. Matt Hayes saying if we had signed Archie Gray as a center back, I'd be impressed by how good he is there. The fact that we signed him as a midfielder who can play as a right back, and now he's this good at center back is sensational. What a remarkable talent. I think that's a very good take by Matty Hayes, right? Like you'd kind of be impressed by him even if he was a center back. But the fact that he even isn't, it's just, again, credit to this kid's ability.
Do you know what impresses me the most, Jack? When we've had to play Dyer at left-sided centre-back or Sanchez, they're ballooning the ball all over the place. They're erratic. Half of the balls are going into the stands, a souvenir for the fans. And people are making excuses for them. Oh, well, it's not their fault. They're playing on the left side, the right foot, etc. I mean, so is Archie Gray. He's only 18 years of age. You didn't see him panic once yesterday, misplacing the pass, ballooning it into the stands. And what I love about it, Jack, is when I went back and looked at the highlights, the guy didn't commit one foul yesterday.
Wow.
As an 18-year-old at centre back, that is absolutely unbelievable. And look, I've always said all season long, I think it's a testament to the player, the fact that he's played all across the back line and has looked equally as good. I think we've got one hell of a player on our hands. You've got to remember, this kid's only 18 years of age, and the composure he shows whenever we've asked for him to step in has been absolutely phenomenal.
Intelligence beyond belief as well. Yeah. Lily White Rose just pointing out Jed Spence back-to-back great performances, the 7.7, then an 8.4, and 2 assists in back-to-back games. No context, Tottenham, Dave?
No, I've seen a good one where someone was like, when you asked Raul lad to step in goals as a kid. Honestly, when I seen that, I honestly thought the worst, Jack. I was contemplating getting Austin warmed up and getting him on the pitch. I was like, he's lost all composure.
I think one of us even mentioned that during the watch along, in fact, that maybe we do consider warming up Austin at this point. F around, find out, Dave.
Oh, what a goal from Son, Jack. What a goal. What I love is the fact that he's like hobbling over there. It's like he's like sort of half injured and he just steps up and does that. But if you remember, I think, was it Kulusevski or Madison tried one earlier in the game as well?
Yes.
Similar, where it looked like they were trying to score. So it's obviously something that they've,
Yeah.
probably something
You
was pointed out to them and they went for it. And in the end, we got our rewards. It was perfect timing.
You pointed
Needed.
that out. Yeah, you pointed that out that Kulusevski maybe was trying that or someone else was trying that in the game. So there could have been something behind it. I'm not sure if you caught this though, but maybe it was just one of the microphones that happened to be close to the corner flag. But also when he struck it, it really made like a gorgeous sound, like the way that Sonny hit the ball, like really had like a lovely sound. So you kind of knew that he must have hit it very hard and was a difficult ball to deal with. Cody Mack saying can totally understand why players are getting tired and injured. I've only just watched that yesterday and I'm exhausted and sore. I think you'll end up with a few bruises after watching Spurs. Jed Spence saying into the semifinals, assists. Come on, you Spurs. Big up to Jed Spence. And then
What a
Simon Humane
performance.
saying their best game in a Spurs shirt. Now, I would disagree, Dave. You know, Dominic Solanke, you and I both, I think, are in agreement that 2 goals, yes, but he's had far better performances, actually.
Yeah, all round, in terms of his out of work possession, I think his all round contribution to the game was sort of minimal. But, he took his 2 goals very well on the night. I think delighted for him. It's weird because when he puts in great performances, no one can fashion a chance for him. And then when he's a bit off sorts, he ends up coming away with 2 goals. The life of a striker is weird. In terms of Jedi Spence, Jack, I think the redemption arc is absolutely well and truly under motion right now. And I would argue when I've looked at him, is he better defensively than Pedro Porro? And is he better going forward? Because, you look at the last 2 games, 2 outside of the boot balls in behind for players to run on and score. He's done it at right back. He's done it at left back. Jed Spence has been absolutely phenomenal. And do you know what? He has to start against Liverpool yet again.
Spensational. Spurs pictures that go hard, Dave.
No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I love it. I think, how many more people are like us grown men reaching for an imaginary arrow on the back, and doing the celebration. It's class.
And Dave, as you and I continue to make content, the dangers of AI just continue to grow. And here's one of them here.
Oh, it's got to go on the thumbnail. That's quality.
Yeah, it definitely is. Patty Power says Spurs could end up reaching a cup semifinal here and yet somehow still come out of it as a laughing stock. What a club.
Fuck up, buddy.
Billy saying Ange hates set piece coaches so much that he's just got us to score directly from corners instead.
Big up, Billy.
And then Charlie Ashcroft saying Forster with one of the best 5-a-side goalie saves you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pub keeper moments here from Fraser. And then Ayudi saying I might be a little too soft for this. I mean, Dave, Sonny and Eriksson still showing so much love for each other. Eriksson practically looking like he still wishes he played for Spurs.
Yeah, I think right now he's probably talking for a move back to Tottenham Hotspur. Maybe made the wrong decision in the first place. I think that's what Son's telling him. You made a decision to get out of here. Maybe the grass hasn't been greener on the other side. Look where we are compared to you.
Even Lancashire, trying to give Eriksson a little tap there. Everybody's just, wanting to have Eriksson back. Cody Mack, is that Sergio Regulon?
I watched that clip again the other day. It's so funny.
Mr. Whatever.
Is that you?
Conceded 3 and still won. That's the level. Kane from the lane. Great job. Park Lane 251. The darts crowd. No, that's Spurs official.
We're persistent.
Amazing. I've never seen Ange smile as much in a post-match interview ever. I've said this to you, Dave. Like I'm trying more and more not to read too much into always maybe Ange's post-match reactions to things because I do think he is a very emotional guy. Like you see him after a loss, head is down, kind of moody, doesn't really, always come across maybe in the best of ways. And then when he wins, he is like a bit of a happy clapper. Like he is a bit of, kind of, chest out, feeling great. I think he's a guy who really rides off the emotions of win or loss. And a lot of us do really. I think it just shows the humanity in him. But I don't know. This smile is just an example. I've said that to you before, right? When people get mad at his post-match, quotes and things like that. I think this is the kind of guy that we're getting. I think he's a very much emotional person after games.
Do you know what, Jack? He strikes me as a guy that especially in that interview, because I've watched it, which was sort of like, well, I told you all. He sort of it alluded to, I'm the only manager that has to apologise by scoring 4 or 5 goals. When we win a game, people think I have no tactics. He was short of saying, well, I'm in a semi-final, and people doubted me, saying that I never win in my second season and stuff like that. It was sort of a big, I would say, you can keep on, you can keep on you can keep on doubting me, but here I am. I'm sitting here in the semi-final, regardless of what you guys think. You think I'm all clueless and all. You haven't a clue. Just wait and see. And I think he's a guy that, he just wanted to get that one over the line. He's a winner. He's coming into a semi-finals now, knowing that he'll have other options back and available for it. So probably
Mm,
fancies his chances to a degree.
yeah.
So, very, very happy yesterday, and rightly so, Jack. I think he's starting to prove a lot of people wrong. He also mentioned the injuries. A sort of sly remark in there. He's like, yeah, we've got a lot of injuries, but sure, no one will mention that. No one really takes it on board. So a very sort of smarmy interview, and I think it was a clap back at people to a certain degree.
No, I think you're right. Billy saying used to always think wouldn't change them for anything about Spurs. Realistically, I'd immediately change them for something much less stressful. Sue saying I've aged about 40 years watching that game. Never change, Tottenham. Never change. Cody Mack. Now this is the time to criticize Forster. It's the time to get behind him. All of us behind him on the goal line now.
It felt like
Cody was
that,
on
we're
fire
about to
last
get, I
night.
was about to roll out that bus, Jack, start reversing it in.
Cody was like almost my new Billy from last night. I was absolutely in love with all of Cody's tweets. Spurs pictures that go hard, Dave.
Yeah, no, I was unbelievable. Even
Look at
we
the
couldn't
fans
believe
in the
it. We were just
background
like,
as
what
well.
have
Look
you
at them
done?
absolutely losing it. like
It's
in
the
the
moments
background.
that the cup provides, though. That's the cup. It's always been that way for Tottenham Hotspur in the cup.
Sheer elation from some of those people in the back end there. This angle is crazy. I mean, yeah, it really is actually. Look at that, Dave. Look at that swerve on that. Like
Oh,
that's
it's
just
beautiful.
gorge. Absolutely gorge to see that. Let's get that one more time. What an angle that is.
Oh, it's
On your head, right on top of him. There you go, in the back of the net. Tottenham Hotspur, Dave, this was the vibes at N17. Odebear was enjoying it. Udogi was enjoying it. They were feeling it.
I don't feel like you should enjoy it if you're on the sidelines, Jack. Just focus on getting back for the semi-final. I know, I'm only messing. I'm only messing. Nah, look, it's
You're
it's
worried about
good
an
vibes,
Odebear injury.
What I will say is, hopefully, it gives them the motivation to sort of get back and come back with hunger, with a point to
Yeah.
prove. I'm back to the top of the game.
Good little bit of FOMO, maybe, right? The fact that they did miss out on it, right? They
Mm,
weren't able to contribute. Maybe they want to get back as soon as possible.
They're loving it.
Paddy Power, Spurs fans visibly taken aback at the sight of a Christian Eriksen set piece that didn't hit the first defender. I almost am convinced there's someone at Paddy Power that is a Spurs fan that's running that account because it's almost
100%.
so specific. It's so specific. Billy saying, "Bottle that, you screenshot." Great for Billy.
Brilliant.
Adam Webster, Fernandez is a coward, kicked Bergvall. Yeah, Dave. So I know we all got a little bit upset at Bergvall for maybe milking it or something, but I mean, this is pretty petulant from Bruno Fernandes. And it could be the case that he really did actually kind of kick a lump out of him
No,
there.
look, completely right. I get it. But there's no VAR. Players know that going into the game. So it's not
True,
like it's going to be picked up and called back. If the
true.
referee hasn't given it and he hasn't seen it,
You just have to get up,
with the dying moments of the game, you just got to get up and get on with the job and see it over. The best way to do it is
kick
get
him
back
back.
there, make a block or a clearance. As soon as the whistle goes, go straight over and just do that in front of his face. You
Yeah.
know?
That's probably the right move actually. Just immediately get up and then swipe back at him, really. And then see if the referee catches that.
Yeah.
Um Rose saying Olympico, oh my days. This is another angle of it.
Since when has the scoring from a corner kick been called an olympico?
I don't know about that, Dave. Like I've known it for ever since I discovered it. Well, it was probably, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, I guess, when I'm trying to learn more and more about the game. But so I heard it from someone, you hear it from someone, and then that's the term for it. What is interesting though is I feel like a lot of people from the UK or people like yourself who are at least close to the UK, I feel like haven't heard this term before. So I wonder if it's like Americans that have invented it, or maybe
Mhm.
another country that's
Yeah.
invented it, come up with the term. It is also not an English word, right? Olympico would be like a Spanish word or something like that. Maybe that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, probably some new age made up sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe it's an
Scoring directly from a
Argentinian.
corner.
I wouldn't be surprised some Uruguayan or Argentinian was the first to do it, and maybe that's where the term came from. Cody Mack, what the F do we do with Forrester after that? I mean, that's
He's
probably
gonna
something
play.
a
He's gonna play.
conversation about. Keep playing him, Dave?
Yeah, he has to. What's the only like? Let's think about this logically, right? Fraser Forster has come in and done a very good job for Tottenham so far to a large degree.
Mm,
A lot better than what people thought he would.
true.
He made two boo boos against Man United, right? Fair enough, because it could have cost us a game. It didn't. We got over the line. Every player makes mistakes at some point, but it's not like he's routinely making these mistakes. In order to even warrant looking at someone like Brandon Austin, who has 1 year loan out in the MLS, or Alfie Whiteman, who has a couple of months loan out in Sweden.
Mm.
They're nowhere near experienced enough to even consider bringing in against Liverpool. Because I'm telling you now, we'll get slapped 7-8-0, and everyone will blame Postecoglou and not look at the goalkeeper. Fraser Forster, he's going to play against Liverpool, whether people like it or not.
And Davina, Dave, this was a great video from her. Just showing Jed Spence and the praise that he got.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that. I was watching the We Are Tottenham TV match day vlog, and he was walking down the south stand, and in behind the goals he was like high-fiving people, and one of the stewards came across and stopped him and pulled him away, and like made him just walk around, without appreciating the praise, which I didn't like, but it was absolutely good to see. And I think what you're seeing, Jack, is everyone realizes what's gone on with Spence at Tottenham is not his fault, and you're seeing people back him, which I think is a great message to send out.
And that's what I have, Dave. And I thought I'd end it off on the old one from Jamie O'Hara. Spurs are back.
uh,
Well,
but
there
you
it
know
is.
what,
There's
he,
your Twitter
he
reaction.
annoyed
Nice
me
and short
yesterday
for the
as well.
most part. Yeah,
Do you know
sorry.
what, he annoyed me yesterday as well, Jack? He was on Talksport yesterday, and he was saying that
Yeah, I
what
wasn't getting the
Bergval.
vibes I wanted from Jamie, to be honest.
No, but he
So,
was there. He was there saying what Bergval done to Bayindir. It's a free kick, and I'm
yeah,
looking at. I'm like, but I've also watched you absolutely king Vicario
yeah,
for calling him weak, and he's had a lot more physical contact where people are actually
yeah.
putting body to body contact on him than what Bergval done to Bayindir when he only really jumped in front of his eye line. So I struggle to understand the consistency, and that's what sort of annoys me. I think a lot of it is emotion based, but how can say one thing for Man United and go, oh, that's a free
Yeah,
kick, but then when it comes to Vicario, absolutely lambast them for not being strong enough, all that sort of stuff. I'm not having it. We got through,
yeah.
and I get it. It's a semi-final, but let's not pretend that we haven't had these basket games, case games, all across our 10 years in cup competitions. Just the way Tottenham do it. It's nothing new right now than what we're seeing. And at the end of the day, stop moaning about it. You can't protect an opposition goalkeeper and go at your own. I'm sorry, I'm not having it.
No, I agree. I wasn't getting. I was actually really excited about Talk Sport last night, and I wasn't really getting the vibes that I would have liked actually from Jamie. He wasn't as happy clappy as I thought he would have been after last night, and actually, plenty of people in general weren't as happy clapping as I thought they would have been last night. I was a little disappointed, but nonetheless, I am, and I said I would be. After a win like that, I'm going to be happy clapping all the way through
Look,
Christmas.
I think many people are stressed with how we done it, and they're still scratching their heads. Like Trina, look, cruise control. How did we get into a situation where the last half an hour was really nervy, really shaky? But at the end of the day, it was a one and done. You got one opportunity to beat Man United and get into the semi-final, and we took it. We've had a load of first team players out injured. We had an 18-year-old starting at centre back who's right footed, playing on the left side. You had a right back who's right footed playing on the left side. And we went and done a job on Manchester United. Good day, my fellow semi finalists. Enjoy it. Don't let the way it happened get you down. At the end of the day, we're there, and that's all we bloody want. We head into 2025 with something to go and chase, something to go after, rather than heading in there with all these problems, around the manager and stuff, and our season's already over. We're going into the back end of the season, the business end of the season, stealing all the trophies. And for that, I can only be grateful. It's all I've asked for.
Yeah, well said. Very well said. Everybody, please smash the like button on your way out. Consider becoming a member as well, please. Follow Dave, their Twitter account at theirishyid. You're welcome to follow myself. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Come on, you Spurs. In the big
Come on,
games we
you
trust. We never
Spurs.
stop. See you
Let's
Sunday for
go.
Liverpool.